Institute for Social Change. I first want to say, give everyone a round of applause. Y'all look gorgeous tonight. The first individuals to grace this stage is our only the University of Memphis Provost, Dr. Karen Weddle West, as well as the board president for the Benjamin L. Hooks Institute, Darren Johnson, and our very own executive director, Ms. Daphne McFerrin. Please give them a round of applause as they come up.
No, that's all. Thank you, Darrell. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. As he said, I'm Karen Weddle West, Provost and Director of Diversity Initiatives at this wonderful institution, the University of Memphis. First, on behalf of President Rudd and the entire faculty and staff at the university, I welcome you to this very important event. We recognize and appreciate the great work that Daphne McFerrin as Executive Director and her wonderful, wonderful staff have done to create success stories about African-American men and their initiatives, success stories about degree completion, success stories about community relationships and partnerships, innovation regarding how we create different pathways to graduation, education, and completion. So we are so, so eternally grateful, Daphne, for your hard work and that of your staff. You can thank that. I also want to thank the advisory board for your continued support of this work, and I want to encourage each and every one of you to continue your magnanimous support of the Hooks Institute, because although funded by the university, it, like many other interdisciplinary units, relies heavily on support and donations. So again, we welcome you, and this promises to be another innovative, creative night of success stories put on by the Hooks Institute. Welcome again.
Now, how do I follow up Dr. West? Give her a round of applause. Well, good evening. On behalf of the advisory board of the Benjamin L. Hooks Institute for Social Change at the University of Memphis, I would like to welcome you each to the 2018 Hooks Institute Annual Join Hands Change Gala. My name is Darren Johnson. I'm the board chair, the advisory board chair for the Hooks Institute, and I would like to welcome each and every one of you. I'd like to ask the advisory board members to stand. If you're in the audience, can you please stand? I saw a few of you out there. Thank you. These individuals are committed to the success of the Hooks Institute, helping to create a strong Memphis community and fully understand its mission of teaching, studying, and promoting civil rights and social change. I'd like to acknowledge and thank the Hooks staff this evening. Can we give them a round of applause? These are the real heroes who work day and night to create quality programs like HAMI, influential documentaries and policy papers based on facts that can lead to real solutions for Memphis, just to name a few. 2 years ago, I was sitting in this room, as you are this evening, being exposed to the mission of this great organization. We honored Marvin Ellison, the CEO of J.C. Penney that night. And I could tell, and it was very evident, how he connected with our students in the HAMI program. I made that same connection and wanted to give back, like those who helped me in my past, on my journey. I followed up with Dr. Della Vega after the gala, specifically to talk about HAMI. She explained the importance of African-American males graduating from college and how there was a direct correlation to uplifting Memphis. We talked about various policy papers and the importance of serving the greater community. Her passion for the Hooks Institute and the University of Memphis is undeniable. I found that same passion with the entire Hooks staff as well. Excuse me. The Hooks Institute relies heavily on donors, grant dollars, and sponsors of events like tonight to fund its important work. While the advisory board plays a pivotal role in raising the funds needed to sustain and expand the Institute's programs, we couldn't do it without you. Tonight you'll hear and you can read in your program about the Hooks Institute initiatives, but I would encourage you to visit our websites, join us on social media, and get involved. I was going through some policy papers that Dr. De La Vega sent me when I was a prospect board member, and I found some very, very interesting facts that I want to share with you. And being a banker, I like numbers, so here we go. So the median incomes for all U.S. citizens is $56,000 as a whole. In Tennessee, it's $47,000. In Memphis, it's $37,000. For non-Hispanic whites, that number is $61,000 for the U.S., $51,000 for Tennessee, and $59,000 for Memphis. For African Americans in the U.S., that's $37,000 in median income, believe that or not, $34,000 in Tennessee, and $30,000 in Memphis. These are startling numbers. So let's talk about the economic impact of helping the Hamey students graduate from college. So if everyone with a GED or a high school diploma graduated with an associate's degree or gained an associate's degree, that would create $7.4 billion of economic impact to the state of Tennessee. That would translate to $1.2 billion of economic impact to Memphis alone. If they all got a bachelor's degree, we're talking about $24 billion of economic impact to Tennessee, and we're talking about $5 billion worth of impact to Memphis alone. Now, as a banker, I love to hear that number. I'll conclude with a quote from Dr. Hooks. "It is a sad commentary on our times that blatant appeals to race still can divide us when so many urgent problems beset our nation." That was a quote from the Houston Post roughly 30 or 40 years ago. I couldn't find the actual date. These words still resonate in our nation today. Again, I want to thank each of you for being here tonight and for your continued support of the Hooks Institute. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Daphne McFerrin. I'm the Executive Director of the Benjamin L. Hooks Institute for Social Change here at the University of Memphis. And I'd like to thank each of you for being here tonight. We are very appreciative for the support of our community supporters, our donors, and our sponsors. You will hear their names, you will hear about the work of the Institute, all in this program. So let me explain the setup of this program, because I've gotten a lot of questions from people who've supported us in the past. Let me say not questions, but interrogation about what this was about. So in the past, we have had the typical gala setup where we had, for example, Mr. Ellison from the CEO of JCPenney, Ambassador Andrew Young, in the typical gala style. But this year, because of MLK 50th, we decided, the Hooks Institute, to not hold the gala at the end of April, which is what we typically do, but rather hold it at the beginning of March to free up 2 months for the staff and for the community to focus on this important anniversary of the 50th anniversary of Dr. King. We cut the event in half. We usually have about 400 people, but we said this year we would only strive for 150. Well, I got a lot of phone calls. They said, Daphne, don't you know your event's in April? We got a notice that you were trying to have this thing March 1st. That's not on my calendar. You need to go back and check, because I was planning on April. So I want to say to you all, I'm very grateful for the fact that you all know when our gala takes place, that you expect to hear from us in April, and you expect to attend in April. And I am very grateful for the interrogations, for the questioning, for the lecture on the need to keep it consistent, because that shows, and I have to say, that you love me. So having said that, tonight, what you will see is something, a format to showcase the talents of the Hooks African American males who are in our initiative called the Hooks African American Male Initiative. This is one of several programs of the Hooks Institute. The Hooks Institute decided to make this initiative because although our African American men are talented, ambitious, hardworking, they want to be successful. but unfortunately, they're among the lowest graduating groups at the University of Memphis. So when we ask, where do we go from here? The Hooks Institute answer is, we need to start developing the natural assets that are here in Memphis. We cannot lose our African American men. So we know in this one instance, and this is one initiative where we need to go in terms of moving forward with Dr. King's dream. Each of us moving forward have different initiatives, different focuses on how we want to be engaged with the community. And I encourage us to get engaged as we move forward. Now, tonight you have the Johnny Carson format that he made one of the standards, which was followed through on by Arsenio Hall and now Jimmy Kimmel. And I chose this format primarily because when I was 5 years old, my mother would allow me to watch Johnny Carson, whom I found fascinating. I found all the people that he brought from all over the world to talk about what they did fascinating. I found his suits fascinating, which I find interesting. And I still like Johnny Carson to this day as an entertainer. So I thought this would be a good format to showcase our stars. We don't have to fly in stars from other cities. We have stars right here. And finally, I'd like to say, I started watching Johnny Carson when I was 5, 6, 7 years old. And I give my mother credit for not making me go to bed. I'm the fourth child of 5 siblings, and I can tell you, they did not want to watch Johnny Carson. And I am one of my siblings here tonight, and I'm very appreciative for them that they did not take me out she would not let them change the channel when Johnny Carson came on. So tonight, we have the Hooks Institute Social Justice Evening Hour. We're on the air. You have an applause sign. You have a fake camera, but you are being recorded. And we're going to start off first with a commercial about who we are, what is our work, and our programs. So let's hit it. Be the change you want to see. We stand on the shoulders of civil rights activists who worked hard to change America to make it a more just and inclusive place. The Hooks Institute picks up the mantle of the civil rights icon and our namesake, Benjamin Hooks. Our mission is teaching, studying, and promoting civil rights and social change.
The Benjamin Hooks Institute for Social Change has many activities that we hope that you'll get involved in. We have a National Book Award that we present every year recognizing current works that further the legacy of the civil rights movement.
There's a plethora of stories about individuals and communities who came together and fought for civil rights in their own time and made a real difference in their own world. It has been my privilege to help the Hooks Institute produce award-winning documentary films, which highlight the actions of these individuals and how they made a difference. Many of our films are available free online. Some are shown on public television stations across the country. And also we show our films in communities, showing them that they too can make a difference in their everyday lives through small and big actions.
The Benjamin L. Hooks Institute for Social Change has an outreach component in addition to the work that we do in research and preserving information related to the American Civil Rights Movement.
Flash Mid-South is a community-wide coalition of youth service organizations that are committed to increasing the participation of minority children in swimming, specifically to prevent drownings by teaching water safety, introducing to swim lessons, and then also intro to competitive swimming.
One of our newer signature programs is the Hooks African American Male Initiative, which we call HAMI, and that's a program to increase the retention and graduation rates of African American male students at the University of Memphis.
Hi, my name is Elliot Perry, native Memphian, former University of Memphis basketball player, but more importantly, a proud graduate of the University of Memphis. I have now joined the Hooks Institute efforts in moving the needle forward to increase the retention and graduation rate of African American males at the University of Memphis. These young men are our future.
With Ingersoll Rand Train, we looked and wanted to determine how we could have the greatest impact. We saw the University of Memphis as that opportunity, and the more we explored it and became aware of the mission of the Hooks Institute, we felt that was our place.
As a committed and concerned citizen of Memphis, I am always dedicated to supporting organizations that drive change. And certainly the Benjamin L. Hooks Institute is such an institution. So I want to encourage all of you to join me in supporting the Benjamin L. Hooks Institute. They are change makers, and we need to ensure that this organization is sustained far into the future.
It is up to the successful to reach back into the community and uplift the African American men therein. This is a quote by the Benjamin L. Hooks, who dedicated his life to social change and social justice. Now, the next person I'm going to introduce for you all tonight is a man that does not need an introduction. He's considered the voice of the South. You can hear him educate and empower people through both V101.1 and WDIA. With no further ado, I would like to introduce our MC for this evening, Stan, the man, Bell, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a pretty good introduction right there. Give D. Rose a big round of applause. I might have to take him on the road with me wherever I go. I like that. Hey, my name is Stan Bell, serving you well, and pushing more power than a Duracell. Thank you very much. I may have 3 or 4 listeners in the audience tonight. Thank you so much. Just checking, y'all. So I do bring you greetings from Shelby County Schools, Destination 2025. I bring you greetings from WDIA, as he said, and V101.1. Number 1 for the best variety of today's R&B and jam and old school. Thank you very much. Nothing like a little bit of shameless self-promotion, Brother Coleman. So I'm excited. When I think about what Hooks has done for this city in the Mid-South and the world over, I get excited. When Daphne asked me to be MC or the host of The Tonight Show featuring Stan Bell, I said absolutely yes. One of my mentors in this radio business by the name of Nat D. Williams, he said, he was my Sunday school teacher, he said, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. So when Daphne called and said, I said, absolutely yes. I thought about Nat D. Williams, who, by the way, you talk about MLK 50 and Black history. He was the first radio announcer, the first black radio announcer in America who happened to work in Memphis, Tennessee at the first black formatted radio station called WDIA. Just a little history. And I'm so honored. He was my Sunday school teacher. Little did he know that I wanted to be just like him. I wanted to be just like him on the radio. And so when I think of Dr. Benjamin Lawson Hooks, I think of a leader. I read somewhere it said, great leaders don't set out to be leaders. They set out to make a difference. A leader is one who knows the way, shows the way, and goes the way. It's not about the role, it's always about the goal. Dr. Benjamin Lawson Hooks, a leader, a great man, many accomplishments, many achievements. And before I take the desk, I want to drop this in your spirit. What is happening right here with HAMI, and if I can say that affectionately, we know that is an acronym. The Hooks African American Male Initiative. Hooks African American Male Initiative. When you think about what these young men are doing, you'll see them come on the stage in just a little bit. I'm excited about them coming up. They have accomplished much. Some will tell you that they're classification freshmen. Some will say sophomore, maybe a junior or a non-traditional student, we think. But we want them to know that the accomplishment is what's happening. That's what we want you to do. We want to focus on retention, graduation, as the provost said, graduation, and completing college. So I'll leave you with this. An accomplishment, there's a difference between accomplishment and achievement. An accomplishment is getting something done. An achievement is getting something done right. When they finish, they would have achieved that degree. And that's something to shout about and be proud about. So I'm excited this evening to be your host of The Tonight Show, starring Stan Bell, serving you well, and pushing more power than a Duracell. Thank you very much. I want to introduce the band right now. You've heard my theme song, right? I wish they could play the roll call up here. Can we go to the 90s? It's the roll call. It's the roll call. It's the roll call. It's the roll call. Hey, what's up, y'all? What you got to say? Who's on the mic with Stan Bell today? Oh, I got a flashback right there. Let me go to my desk. Ladies and gentlemen, we say in advance to our men who will be coming up, and those of you in the audience, I want to say in the words of that profound philosopher and deep poet, Dr. Seuss, young men, congratulations. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. Welcome to the Hamey Initiative. Band, you got something for me? Take it away while I take my desk. All right, give my hand as they play. It's like doing a wobble up here. One time for Bill Hurd and the Hurd Ensemble. They play so beautifully, don't you agree? All right, look, it is time now, before we get into the gist, into the matter at hand, we have a commercial, and we'll come back right after these commercial messages. Enjoy.
I came to college because in my family, it was mainly to have success for them.
What a college degree means to me is not only my future, but it's also a financial promise for my children and their children.
I was given the motivation by a neighbor when my mother pretty much was telling the neighbor that I was planning on attending college. And she had said he should have did that years ago. So I've always used that particular statement as a motivation.
I actually was talking to my grandmother one day, and she was telling me, you really should get back into college. You should do this. I guess what it was she saw more potential in me than I saw in myself.
Well, I think programs like the Hooks African American Male Initiative are critical to really help African American male
that have not had the experience of knowing someone who's been in college.
At one of the HAMI sessions that I attended this semester, I learned out from the speaker the importance of having an elevator speech and being able to really sell your product, as in yourself, to people.
The part that I found most beneficial in the HAMI session is at the end of each session, we meet with Mr. Gregory Washington in a group setting, and we're able to discuss anything that we may be having problems with, such as school, family, or whatever the case is, and you get insights from other individuals.
One of the reasons I wanted to be involved in HAMI was the opportunity, again, to work directly, interpersonally with young men and to be able to talk to them and help them understand that I've been where they are.
They have a great opportunity to work with mentors that come from a variety of professions, and we just help them in skills beyond just academic.
HAMI, they push you as a person, and they make you believe in yourself more than anything.
Considering that I never did think that I would be in a college atmosphere, I just marvel at it.
I'm a first-generation student, and I was the first one to graduate from high school on my father and mother's side as a male, so that's what education means to me.
Helping African American males graduate is about social change. It's changing their lives, it's changing our communities, ultimately changing the nation.
If we do not integrate our young African American males and we do not utilize their talents, what a waste. What a missed opportunity to really make Memphis all it can be.
Well, we know that we're ready. We're coming back to meet our special guests in just a matter of moments. We want to say now, you know that education really should be our number one priority, right? Right, Congressman? And it should mean more to us than an institution which has refused to grow with the needs of its students. Someone asked, what is education? I say education is opening your mind to knowledge. It's the willingness to continue to learn and grow. It's the discipline to set goals for ourselves and accomplish them. It's the commitment to using our God-given intelligence to challenge and question those ideas and practices which are part of the status quo in order to seek out better ways of thinking and doing. The right knowledge is power. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our HAMI students to the stage. Here they come. For the forward in the house. Shoot. Ladies and gentlemen, don't they look good? They look good. In a minute, they'll be sounding good. And if you get close enough to them, they'll be smelling good. But I'm not going to get that close. So we have here with us the young men who are part of the HAMI initiative, this program. We have Shamicio Ford in the house. Throw your hand up, wave them in the air like you just don't care. Affectionately known as Shoot. Shamicio Ford has been a member of the HAMI since fall of 2016. He is a sophomore pursuing a baccalaureate degree in engineering technology. He was born in Los Angeles but raised in Little Rock, and he hopes to one day own his own company in the engineering field. He currently serves as the membership chair for the Student Leadership Council of HAMI, as we know as the Hooks African American Male Initiative. Give him a hand. Shamicio Ford, but you can call him Shoe. Socks, you can call him Sue. Shoe, all right? Next we have, I call him KB, Kyle Bledsoe. Every time I hear the name Kyle, I think of Kyle West, who produced big songs by Al B. Sure. This is Kyle Bledsoe in the middle. In the fall of 2017, Kyle became a member of HAMI. He's a freshman pursuing a baccalaureate degree in chemistry. Kyle plans to obtain a PhD in pharmacognosy. Yep, that's on there. Pharmacognosy. Look it up. He was born in Detroit, the Motor City, Motown in the house. But he was raised in the Bluff City, and he hopes to one day study in China and Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Kyle Bledsoe. And my man, Matthew. Matthew, we call him Matty Matt. He joined Hamey in the fall of 2017. He's a freshman pursuing a baccalaureate degree in political science. He hails from our great city, the Bluff City, the one town, Memphis, Tennessee, right here. And he plans on attending law school to one day pursue a career in law. He currently serves as a member of the Student Leadership Council. Please welcome Matthew Bello. Rhymes with fellow. So I'm so excited you guys are here. Today is your day. First of all, let me say congratulations in advance. Whatever your classification may be, we're excited that you're here with us at the University of Memphis Holiday Inn. I'm going to start the questioning now. I want to ask, I guess I'll go with Brother Ford. You got that look. We call him Shoe now, right? Shoe. I want to get straight to the question. How has Hamey made a difference in your life?
Well, Hamey, for me, I'm a first-generation college student, and I'm a little ways away from home. So Hamey, for me, it's been a backbone. I mean, I'll get put in some situations in college that I don't have anyone at home, my family, that I could call on to help me. So Hamey, they have mentors, and I made a brotherhood, and I could ask one of my brothers or someone, a faculty or staff member, how to go about a certain situation. And also they help me to be the best academic student I could be. They make us do progress reports. They do workshops for us. Like, I can't lay in bed and for my 8 a.m. I got to get up and go to class. I know later on I got a progress report that I got to fill out. They're going to tell my attendance. So, I mean, I think that really helps. They push me to be the best student that I could be.
They push you. Your personal human alarm clock, I guess. You heard me say earlier, we mentioned Dr. Seuss. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. With that being said, what are your future goals? What do you plan to do, and what goals do you have planned? Shu?
I want to graduate from the Herf College of Engineering with an engineering technology degree. And I mean, I don't want to waste any time. I want to jump straight into my field of study and get work experience and make some connections. But overall, long down the road, I want to own my own business in the engineering field, and I want to help give opportunities to people that are like me and help open up doors like Hamey has done for me, or maybe some doors that I didn't have the opportunity to open up. So that's what I like to do.
That's what I like to hear. Big things popping. Do your own thing. Start your own business. Where you going to Mike? I'm still on you, man. I got some questions for you, Mr. Ford. Have you driven a Ford lately? This kid should be show. I do want to ask you, and this is probably a question that's really not on my paper that the producers wrote. I just want to ask you, are there any obstacles that you faced as a young man of color along the way?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I'm a STEM major, Herf College of Engineering, engineering technology degree. Sometimes some of my classes that everyone doesn't look like me, or there's not a lot of people that can relate to what I'm going through in the classes, or sometimes I'm not frowned upon, but sometimes when I walk into the classes, it's not always as friendly. Maybe group projects or study sessions, I'm not always one that people want to work with, and I mean, I'm fine with that. I mean, it's no biggie.
So you're okay with, you can deal with those obstacles in your own special way, and you work through those.
Yeah, most definitely.
And Hamey has been an integral part of that, no doubt, right? Okay, fantastic. All right, let's get that mic over to KB. Let's give Ford a round of applause. Those answers. I didn't mean to throw you a curveball there, but you know how we do in TV, right? Sister Markova, that's how we do in TV, right? We're going to throw a curveball every day, ask the tough questions. KB, right? Is it okay if I call you that, Kyle?
Yeah, that's fine.
Kyle Bledsoe in the house. Kyle Bledsoe in the house with the roll call. All right, Kyle, you're in the middle, Doc, money in the middle. I got to ask you about the benefits and maybe even resources that University of Memphis and the Hamey Initiative has afforded you, and what have you gotten from this Hamey, what we call the Hamey program, Kyle?
Well, I could describe it in two ways: material benefits and also non or intangible benefits. So material benefits would be the free suit program, 100 free business cards, and the stipend, which helps with books and other fees that I have in school. And intangible benefits would be the support group, positive reinforcement, being able to see people like me performing well and having each other's backs. All those things are really things that Hamey gives me.
Check it out. I mentioned earlier about people like Nat D. Williams, we stand on their shoulders, and I would even go so far as to say people like Rufus Thomas and A.C. Muha Williams. I think you have a musical background. I read your bio, you like music, you like Marvin Gaye, right, Trouble Man, all of that.
I do.
But I often say motivation is when your dreams put on work clothes. Motivation is when your dreams put on work clothes. So where I'm going is this. What motivated you to pursue your career, your future career?
Well, my future career is in the field of pharmacognosy. I hope to one day get a PhD after I get my bachelor's in chemistry at the University of Memphis. And pharmacognosy is the study of naturally derived pharmaceuticals. And I was inspired to go into that field when my grandmother passed away in front of me when I was 13 years old for what I would consider to be medical malpractice. And after that, I turned my despair into something constructive, and I decided that maybe I could help people who go through the same thing, who do not know how to navigate the medical establishment or the medical pharmacological monster that it really is. I could help those people by showing them an alternate route. However, pharmacognosy is somewhat like a herbalist, except it's legit. So basically, I'm like a legit herbalist, in other words.
That's right, clear that up. Too legit to quit. Hey, KB. Good answer, man. And I know you're serious about what you're setting out to do. So we drop it in your spirit. You do it for your mother, you said? Your grandmother? Grandmother. So you drop this. Motivation is when your dreams put on work clothes. Go do it. I've got another question for you. No, you've done well. You've done well. I just wanted to make sure when I said that pharmacognosy, folks didn't think I was like embarrassing myself like I didn't have a teacher, and that wasn't the name of it. But that's actually a major.
It is. To be honest, I actually did not know about it until about a month ago when my advisor, he told me about it. I used to say ethnopharmacology, which is the study of how different ethnic groups medicate themselves. But he told me about this, and actually there are a few PhD programs around the country in it.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Thank you. Absolutely. We wish you the very best. That's Kyle Bledsoe, everybody. KB. By way of Detroit, Memphis, Tennessee, Motown. No wonder you like Marvin Gaye and the Trouble Man and the Inner City Blues, right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I love this name, Matthew. Matthew Bello. Rhymes with fellow. So, Matt, welcome to the Tonight Show, starring Stan Bell, the bell ringer.
Glad to be here.
Matt, who's your favorite NFL team?
I have to stay true to New Orleans. That's where my family came from.
Really?
So
You got a little New Orleans in you?
Yeah.
The Saints?
The Saints, yeah,
Okay.
most definitely.
Crescent City and all of that. Any Saints fans in the building? Anybody? Who that? Oh, okay, 3 people. Plus 1, Matthew. Cool. All right. So, Matthew, what are some of the benefits or resources you have received from the Hamey program? Just give me the what, maybe, and the how, and I'll be happy. What are some of the benefits or resources you received from Hamey?
When I look at it, when I see Hamey as some of the resources that they've given me would be leadership, commitment. They showed me that I have a purpose, most definitely, through mentorship, me being able to achieve a purpose despite the different factors that I may have in the college world in general.
So what's your classification now?
I'm a political science major.
And what class are you? You're a sophomore?
Oh, I'm a freshman.
Freshman, okay, freshman. Okay.
Freshman.
So you jump right in it. Political science, you want to be an attorney, no doubt, one day,
yes,
right?
Most
so
definitely.
We see the Honorable Stephen Cohen in the House, and we see Attorney Warden, and we see Mrs. Warden, and we see so many lawyers in here. You aspire to maybe be like them, no doubt, right?
Yes.
So maybe at the end of this program, you might get a chance to go out and meet them, shake some hands, and tell them what you're interested in. So what really motivated you to pursue this career in law?
Me seeing the social injustices done in our society, most definitely done to African American men throughout the decades. Me seeing institutionalization in the carceral state, me seeing that just the backlash of African American men in general throughout our country's history, wanting me to make a change, make a difference. That's part of the reason why I joined the Hamey Institute. The program, part of the Benjamin L. Hooks Institute for Social Change. Yes. So because I believed in what they're doing, I believe that purpose, them increasing the retention rate for African American males, is a purpose that is bigger than the city of Memphis. It's bigger than the University of Memphis. It's bigger than me. But through helping each and every individual that comes to those doors in the Hamey office and having that personal relationship with mentors like David Rose, helping us pursue and find that purpose is most definitely a massive and big attribution to why I'm following my career path.
Absolutely. And you know what? I bet there's some mentors you could probably call who have helped you along the way. Do you have any professional people in your life yet, or that you say I look up to, or someone you've learned from? Just anyone who may have served as mentors, probably in the Hamey initiative, right? Yeah, I noticed you called David Rose's name and some others, no doubt. Any other names you want to shout out?
Yeah, most definitely David Rose. This may be a side note, but I actually met David Rose long way back. Me and his mother and my mother were best friends. I first met him during his summer program, summer of 2015, his summer program, and that's when I first met him. I was introduced. And then we connected as soon as I got to college. He connected me to this program. This program's been nothing but help with me pursuing what I want to do, which is law. And so on.
All right, let's give him a hand. My producer, my floor director is showing me the rap sign, so I can't ask him any more questions. So that means we want to thank you for coming, all right? We want to thank you. We enjoyed it. Ladies and gentlemen, Shamisha Ford in the house. We call him Shoe. That's a size 12 there, right? All right. KB, ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Bledsoe in the house. Ooh, I feel like doing a roll call. Kyle's in the house. And Matthew Bello in the building. Thank you so much, young man. I wish you well on your path. Remember, hard work is the yeast that raises the dough. You get that? Thank you so much for being on the Stan Bell Show, the Tonight Show. Thank you very much. Give them a hand as they exit the stage. That's money right there, y'all. All right, band, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Two most important words in the English language, everybody. Thank you. Most important word, we. Least important, I. We want to show a video. We want to thank all of our sponsors right now. Please watch and enjoy.
The Hooks Institute Social Justice Evening Hour is brought to you by the following sponsors. First Tennessee Foundation, OMO Energy and Technology Incorporated, A2H Engineers, Architects, Planners, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee Community Trust, Cigna, Hilton, Methodist Le Bonheur Healthcare, Mind Act Incorporated, Regional One Health, The Hooks Institute thanks the following organizations that have supported our programs throughout the year. And now, back to our featured program.
That's right, honey, baby child. Back to the feature program. How about a big ovation for our sponsors? You know, we could not do this without their generosity. We could not do this without their generosity. We just want to say thank you. Two most important words in the English language. You know, that word thank you goes a long, long way. It was my grandmother who said, feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a gift and not giving it. Let me drop that in your spirit again. Feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a gift and not giving it. So we thank you, sponsors. We thank you for your love and support. What Mr. Hooks did is so phenomenal and will live on and on and on and on. Thank you to our sponsors and our donors. Thank you so much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have something we think you'll be really excited about. Talent runs deep in Memphis, Tennessee, especially when it comes to music. I'm going to bring up one of my special guests. I'm going to ask her to do a special song tonight for us who are gathered here. Please welcome now, if you would, please do a very special performance, if you would. A very familiar tune. It's been covered by a lot of folks, but I think when you hear this particular arrangement and rendition, you'll really be excited and you'll be happy about it. Accompanied by the Bill Hurd Ensemble, please welcome now to the stage a musical performance entitled Rise Up, the one and only Miss Keisha Cook.
You're broken down, tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find no fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out, and mountain, we gon' walk it out, and mountain. In spite of the edge, I will rise 1,000 times again. And we'll rise up, I like the way we'll rise up. In spite of the edge, we'll rise up. And we'll do it 1,000 times again.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Keisha Cook. Yeah. Thank you for coming on the show, Keisha. Keisha's in the house. Beautiful selection there, Andra Day. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have a very special guest I want to introduce you to, and I think you'll be excited when he comes this way. A man of many accomplishments and many achievements. Would you please welcome our next guest, the one and only Mr. Donald Comer in the building. We call him DC. He came to be with me. Mr. Donald Comer, as he comes, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, this man is the Staff Vice President of Operations Analysis, FedEx Corporation. During his career, he has excelled in varying business disciplines, including finance, marketing, project management, strategic planning, and leadership. Mr. Comer holds a bachelor's degree from the University of Tennessee at Martin. And, okay, just two people, UT Martin. Plus the host, that's three. Okay, and he has an MBA from the Executive MBA program here at the University of Memphis. He's an outstanding leader, and yes, that does a round of applause. That's right. Thank you, Provost. All right, and he also has an executive MBA from the University of Memphis in that program, and as outstanding leader and philanthropist, Mr. Comer has received numerous awards, including the FedEx 5-Star Award, National Black MBA Association's Top 50 Under 50 Executives and Chairman's Award, and the Memphis Alumni Chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated Man of the Year Award, and on and on and on and on. Mr. Comer, everybody! Mr. Donald Comer in the building. Welcome to the show. You may be seated, sir. You're looking mighty dapper today. I like that suit. Is that 44 long? Just checking. All right. So you have the microphone. I'm going to throw a few questions to you because I know you are, as the bio says, you're a mentor to many, particularly a young man. You've received numerous awards, so we're excited about your accomplishments and achievements. I want to ask you, Mr. Comer, if you would please just briefly describe your background and your educational attainments. We heard some of it in the bio, but I know there's some other things you may want to share, if you would please.
Not quite sure why I said it so formal. I've known him since 1978. When I started talking about my background and my education, I started in a very small town, Jackson, Tennessee, so I'm a country boy. And I graduated from a class of 76 individuals. So very humble beginnings. I grew up on a dirt road in rural Jackson, Tennessee. And I matriculated from University of Tennessee at Martin. It was my first encounter with Stan Elder. And I was an accounting major. At that time, I was a pre-law accountant because I thought I was going to law school. And fortunately, I had a advisor who suggested I should do pre-law accounting in case I made a decision to do something other than law school. And that was some of the best advice I got in terms of managing my career. Post undergraduate, I found my first employment in the city of Memphis, and that was in 1982. And I have been in Memphis longer than I've been anywhere in my life. And I started with a small minority accounting firm, Brandon Smith & Jones. But just before I graduated from undergrad, somebody that was recruiting for Holiday Inns saw something in me that I didn't see in myself and decided that they wanted me to come in and talk to Holiday Inns. And that was my first exposure to that. And I came here and I interviewed. How many people remember Holiday Inn's headquarters on Lamar with all the flags? Can you imagine a small town country boy driving down Lamar and driving up to that building with all those flags representing all the world? So I had aspirations even at that point in time.
So let me interrupt just a little bit. You know, what you said is fine and dandy and everything, and I know as you said earlier, Jackson, Tennessee, right?
Jackson, Tennessee.
Now, is this old commercial? You come a long way, baby. That's old school. You got to be at least 40 to know about that. Virginia Slims. I know your parents, your relatives got to be proud of you. I think of Jackson, Tennessee. Many of you may know. I think about Super Wolf. Super Wolf can do it, and the late Denise LaSalle, one of the greats in music, the queen of the blues and everything. But we know that you've done a lot of great things. Absolutely. We got especially new guests here.
Live TV.
It's live TV.
Yeah.
All right.
Can't hear you, so
Okay, we're gonna crank that mic up a little bit.
Okay.
So you have no problem with me with the mic, right?
Okay.
You bring it on up. Bring it on up.
Bring it on up.
That's
Can you hear me
right.
now?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, Jackson, humble beginnings. Is that Denmark? High school. I'm going back. See, you told me. I knew a little bit.
I did say it was rural West Tennessee.
Yeah.
The high school I went to was actually in Denmark, Tennessee.
Yeah, yeah.
So
we did our research. Thank a teacher there.
Okay.
Mr. Comer, since you've come a long ways from the humble beginnings in the rural Jackson, Tennessee, maybe you could describe for us your top 2 most significant career and personal milestones.
Probably my most significant personal milestone was, in fact, being first generation and graduating and getting a degree from college, and then finding gainful employment. My first job wasn't the job that I'd hoped for, but it was the right job for me, and it gave me the right experience that allowed me to build upon that and to become successful. So that was probably my first real prideful moment as I built out my career. The other one has been rising to become an officer of a top 50 company. That's a major achievement for people who look like me. And so I'm real excited about that. I lost my dad in April, and to have him see me get here.
Absolutely. Definitely would be proud. We know the things you've accomplished so much, but how does it, I know you're probably involved in the community as well, and I know that's a vital piece of your success because you are involved in the community. Talk to us a little bit about your community engagement, if you would.
Yeah, that is extremely important to me. I'm very passionate about making sure that I consider myself to have been lucky. And I don't think that same kind of luck exists now with technology and more opportunities. It's not going to be luck. You got to be prepared. So the real definition of luck is opportunity meeting preparation. So you got to be prepared. I'm active on a number of organizations. I recently ascended to chairman of the board for the National Black MBA Association. As an organization I'm very, very passionate about. It helps to create opportunities for African Americans and build wealth as a result of having pursued education and leveraging it. We have the probably the largest diversity career fair in the United States, with more than 350 corporations, 66 colleges and institutions. So I'm very humbled and pleased to lead the board that governs that organization. Most recently, I took a seat on Stillman College and Lemoyne College Board of Trustees. I work very closely with Lane College because my passion is about making sure the opportunities are there. The challenges that small historically black colleges and universities face are major. And a lot of them are open enrollment institutions, which mean they accept everybody, but then they don't have the funding to really give them what they need to be competitive. So the challenges are real, and I want to make an impact, and I want to make a difference in that particular space. So I'm all in on that. I spend a lot of time doing that, and several other institutions. So that's my passion.
Absolutely, and we can hear it in your voice when you convey that message of community service and the community engagement and the work that you do with FEC and beyond. I think it was Marion Edelman Wright, who was the president of the Children's Defense Fund. She said, "The best service is the rent we pay for living." Yep. Yeah, service is the rent we pay for living. So nothing we should just diddle-daddle about, something we should do not just in our spare time. So you've done the work, your career, and it shows you're a very successful young man. What would you give, finally, what advice would you give to some of the HAME students and the young men who are sitting, particularly men of color who are here? Any advice, last words you would give to students attending the University of Memphis?
Yeah, what I would tell them is to follow your passions, follow your dreams. There's a lot of conversation, and the narrative is strong about having mentors, but more important than a mentor is a sponsor. A mentor you can ask for, you can request, and many times you will receive it, but a sponsor you earn. A sponsor is an individual who's willing to invest their personal equity to ensure that you have a degree of success. And you earn a sponsor by always presenting yourself in the best possible light, never taking shortcuts, always persevering, and being committed to be the best possible you. I think the new slang is living your best life. Well, we should always be focused on living our best life and bringing the best person that you are. Don't act and don't be what you want to be for the job or the status that you're in, but have a vision for your life and perform at the next level. If you're a frontline contributor, then you need to act like you're going to be the manager and bring yourself to work and show up for the opportunity you're looking for, not for the opportunity that you have currently.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Don Comer, Federal Express, Vice President Operations, Analysis in the house. Every girl's crazy about a sharp-dressed man and one that's getting paid. He's pretty on his left side. He's pretty on his right. He's so darn pretty he can't sleep at night. Some of y'all will get that a little later on. Thank you, Mr. Comer. Thank you for your advice. Thank you for your words of wisdom. Thank you for sharing with us in the audience on The Tonight Show featuring Stan Bell. Many receive advice, but only the wise profit by it. I said many receive advice, but only the wise profit by it. So thank you, Mr. Comer, for carving out a little time of your schedule to be with us. We know you have so many things that you do, but thank you. That does show your passion for the men who attend University of Memphis and what you do every day. At this time, my closing remarks will be this. I'm going to ask that, before we bring up Daphne, I'm going to ask that the men of HAME Initiative, would you please stand? I want you to all to stand. If you've been through the program, you're in the program, you came out of the program, so that means, David, you can stand too. My producer says, I got 2 minutes. Y'all keep standing. Look at him, look at him. My floor director says I got 2 minutes. Now, y'all remain standing. My final remarks as a TV talk show host would be to drop something in your spirit, and we go to commercial break, and we do what we have to do. Young men, it was a man by the name of Rudyard Kipling who put it best. I can tell when you came up here on the stage on my show that you're men of character. You're going places. He put it like this: if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise, if you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there's nothing left in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth, and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. God bless you and keep you. Long live the legacy and the memory of the late Dr. Benjamin Lawson Hooks. Thank you. Band, take it away. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Daphne McFerrin in the house, followed by Miss Rory Trammell. Thank you so much.
Let's give it up for Stan Bell, who Stan has been so gracious to us in preparation for this event. We described it. We described the scale down part. He met with the students before tonight. You met with them twice. So I really appreciate his investment and his love for this effort. So thank you so much. So I told you tonight we're making an investment into the people who are making Memphis great. And so we're going to, at this point in the program, recognize some of the faculty who have done outstanding work for the Hooks Institute, and I'd like to bring to the podium Assistant Director Rory Trammell.
Thank you, Daphne, and thank you to all of you for attending. Hope you enjoyed the program. As Daphne said, this is a time that we are recognizing faculty that have been supportive of us. This is award season. We've had the Golden Globes, we've had the Emmys, we've got the Oscars coming up, I think this weekend. And so now we have the Hooks Awards. So we're part of the awards cycle, you didn't know that. So, you know, a team is important for any success and any achievement of mission, and we recognize that also at the Benjamin Hooks Institute for Social Change. We're a very small staff. We couldn't accomplish all of the great things that we do if we didn't have partners, and of course our faculty partners are so important to us. So we like to take the time to recognize faculty that have been supportive, have been friends, who have been partners, have been donors, and we'd like to recognize two of those this evening. The first is Daniel Keel, and Daniel has been chair of the Hooks National Book Award for several years. Information is in the program. Daniel, in this role, has to read about 30 books a year. He has to go through those books and narrow them down to 5 or 6 finalists. And they are amazing books. They're books that further the legacy of the civil rights movement. So they're not necessarily about that era. They can be about current issues, any social justice issues. And Daniel put together a great system for how he goes through those books and presents a great group of finalists to the committee. Just to give you an idea, one of the books nominated last year was written by the author of the book that turned into the movie The Butler. This year, one of our nominees is the best-selling book by Ta-Nehisi Coates. So that's the caliber of books that we have nominated and that Daniel has to go through. Daniel Keel also partnered with us in the past in the development of the movie, the documentary, The Memphis 13. If you saw that documentary about the children that integrated schools in Memphis, Daniel Keel was the director of that. And to have the kind of partner and volunteer that really is with you. There was a time that we had a committee meeting and I was double booked, and I called Daniel and said, what do you want to do? Do we need to reschedule? But he stepped up, he said, no, I got this. You go do what you have to do, Rory, I've got this. And so I appreciate and so enjoy working with Daniel. So Daniel, thank you, we'd like to bring you up. Daniel Keel. And so the award to Daniel reads, this is actually big print, I can read this without my glasses. It says, for your outstanding service in promoting the historical legacy of the civil rights movement from the Benjamin L. Hooks Institute for Social Change. Thank you, Daniel. Our next honoree is Dr. Aram Gazousian. He is chair of the history department. Aram works with us in so many ways. He also has been chair of the Hooks National Book Award. He's been one of those people that steps right up whenever we have an honoree. Again, with a small staff, we're planning programs, we're getting all the logistics taken care of. Aram always steps up to be a great host for our honoree. He also serves on the Faculty Advisory Council for the Hooks Institute. He's an author, and he's just a great friend of the Institute. And unfortunately, just like award season, Aram is not able to be with us this evening, and accepting on his behalf is one of our new faculty members, also in the history department, that we're so great to have join us, and he immediately stepped in his first semester to assist the Hooks Institute. So Dr. Brian Quoba, a colleague of Aram's, is going to accept the award on his behalf. Brian. And Aram's plaque reads the same, and you're a great stand-in for Aram, so thank you for accepting on his behalf.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It never ends for the Hooks Institute. As Rory was leaving the stage, you couldn't hear it. She told Brian she was going to put him to work. So at this point, I would like to call all the Hooks Institute staff to the front of the room. So this is an opportunity for us, given that we are not recognizing a national figure this year, and we're recognizing our own, to give recognition to those who are making a difference every day in the work of the Hooks Institute. So Dr. Neenan, could you come forward? So first I'd like to introduce the staff of the Hooks Institute. Are we all here? No, where's David? And David.
David's not working.
Okay, so David, who is our Ed McMahon tonight, is the Hooks Institute Program Specialist. And David is a 2017 graduate of the U of M, but I call him an old soul because he's often given us advice. He's very serious about his work, and he has made a profound contribution to the Hooks Institute. This is Dr. Elena de la Vega. She gave a presentation 2 nights ago at the Civil Rights Museum on 50 Years of Poverty. She and I also are the editors of the policy papers that come out annually. This is Nathan Ball, who's our media and programs coordinator, Rory Trammell, assistant director, Pamela DeShields, who is administrative coordinator, and Jasmine Stansberry, who is our graduate assistant, who's getting her master's in history and will be enrolling in a PhD program in the fall. I'd like to bring to the podium the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, Thomas Neenan, to say a few words.
Thank you, Daphne. And tonight I'm going to make sure that it's a very few after hearing Daphne, our provost, Stan Bell, the speakers on stage. I can't live up to it. I'm sure not going to try a poetry declamation contest here tonight. That was quite a performance. So I will learn from Stan Bell and I'd say, the 2 most important words, as we now know: thank you. Let me say them to a lot of people tonight. Let me say them to Daphne for her leadership. Let me speak to her staff. If you've seen the documentaries, if you've seen a list of all of the events that that the Hooks Institute brings forth, if you look at the work of the HAMI program that's year-round, all the time and intensive, if you look at the documents and the position papers that study Memphis and come up with concrete solutions for making things better, it's pretty amazing that a staff this size comes up with that much work. So they really should be commended for outstanding work. I want to thank those that are here tonight that support that work and make that work possible and value that work and continue it through all the ways that you help us out. And that includes the people that came here tonight. Stan, thank you so much. Thank you to all our participants, wonderful musicians, so we appreciate all of that. And let me, above all, to the stars tonight, of course, are the Hamey Scholars. Let me thank the Hamey Scholars for doing what we need to do as you get a little bit closer to my age, looking in and realizing that the world's in good shape because we have young people stepping up who are going to be the leaders and doing the things like the Daphnes and the Stans and the others of this world are doing, other people that I see in this room. So follow your dreams and then follow the models of these people that once you've achieved, continue to give back, and you're going to make the world a great place. We're really proud of the College of Arts and Sciences that the Hooks Institute is part of that college, and as a member of the University of Memphis, and as a Memphian, we're really grateful that you're at the University of Memphis and that you're here in Memphis making it a better university and a better place. So thank you.
So two things. I want to recognize Dr. Gregory Washington, who is to my left. Dr. Washington conducts the man-to-man sessions. He's also a faculty member in the School of Social Work. So the Hamey students have a lot of contact with him where they can talk about issues that they think impact them as African-American men. Finally, I'd like to recognize in the house David Rose. So how could we not go up with a staff like this, and especially with a cheerleader like David Rose? But finally, I have a surprise that we have been hiding all week, which took a lot of effort. So I'd like to recognize, and the staff knows about this, all except the two who are being recognized, two of the staff members. First, I would like to recognize Rory Trammell, Assistant Director of the Hooks Institute. Oh, I'm good. Rory is the coordinator for the Hooks African American Male Initiative. There are 40 young men enrolled in this program, and it is intensive coaching and mentoring, academic coaching, personal coaching, financial coaching. All of the people in the office work on Hamey. It is the most expensive program of the Hooks Institute, and it takes every staff member to keep it going. But there's one person who is the focus of the program, and I call her the train conductor, and that's Rory Trammell. The guys love Rory, and I can tell you the amount of time Rory puts into this program. This is not a job. This is a calling for Rory. And the Hooks Institute is so blessed to have you to lead this program, and I wanted to recognize you for your outstanding contributions to the Hooks Institute. Thank you. You guys are good. So our goal at the Hooks Institute is to increase the program by 10 to 15% each year. So at the beginning of fall 2018, we would expect enrollment to go up to 50 to 55 students. That's a lot for a staff this size, but we do it. We have a second recognition for one of our staff members, Nathaniel Ball.
Oh. Thank you, Daphne.
So Nathaniel joined the Hooks Institute sort of accidentally. I was doing a film, and I needed someone to help me pull it together quickly. It's called the Civil Rights Movement, A Cultural Revolution. And I put out a request among the faculty for a student who had some editing experience in film, and Nathan applied for the job. And I only wanted him to work 10 hours a week. So he was getting his master's in history at the time, but Nathan has an undergraduate degree in film. So after Nathan received his degree, the Hooks Institute hired him permanently, and he and I have been working on films ever since. The first film we produced, A Civil Rights Movement, A Cultural Revolution, has had about 13,000 views. We get requests from across the United States from schools to view the film. You can view it at no cost, but the school systems do contact us to see if there are any copyright issues, and there are not. We have been contacted by a publisher to use the film in a book, but because the film is free and open to the public, we cannot allow people to publish it and make money on it. So doing these films is essentially writing a dissertation. We're doing a film now on Ida B. Wells, and it's essentially learning the subject inside and out and writing a thesis paper in order to develop a script. Nathan and I work together, we fight together, and we create an end product together. So on behalf of the Hooks Institute, I'd like to present to Nathaniel C. Ball an appreciation for your outstanding contributions to the Hooks Institute.
Very sneaky. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, closing remarks, and we have one song, and I just was called Sneaky. I'm very proud of that. So I'd like to thank each of you for attending tonight. We know this was a scaled-down event, but we are preparing also for MLK 50 events. Please stay in touch with us as we prepare for our 2019 annual gala, which will probably go back to the traditional format. I want to thank all of you for being here tonight. I'm afraid to start listing people. You've seen our sponsors, whom we are extremely indebted to. We're indebted to the U of M department. We are indebted to the Memphis Suit Project. One of the things that you get when you join HAMI is that our guys get a new suit. And they get that suit so they can do interviews, so that they can meet with their mentors. So we have 40 students, and probably 75% of them have received new suits over the last 3 years. And this year, the Memphis Suit Project provided 11 suits for the HAMI students. So we're very grateful for that. Finally, before we get to the last song, A Change Is Gonna Come, I'd like to end on a personal note. As we go forward looking at MLK 50th, I often say Dr. King is looked at, and maybe, of course, appropriately so, as a national figure, somehow beyond ordinary capacity. And I think perhaps he would not be pleased with the fact that, as Bill Clinton, as I heard him say, describing Janet Reno, he said, at her funeral, he said she would not want us to put her on a pedestal, but rather for her life to inspire each of us of the responsibility we each have to change our nation. And I'm confident that that's what Dr. King would want. In 1959, my father started a voter registration drive in Fayette County. Fayette County's east of here, and as a result of that, there was a movement. It's known as Tent City, and it's nationally known because when those people registered to vote, they were evicted, and for 3 years lived in tents on the farms of 2 black farmers. Dr. King, in 1960, sent a check to Fayette County, and the check was for $800. He said, divide the check between Hayward and Fayette County. They were afraid in the winter, and my father felt responsible for getting people to register to vote. He was not a sharecropper. They owned their property. But they were afraid that people would starve to death, literally afraid. And the first baby born in the tents, they sat up all night with the baby because they were afraid the baby would freeze to death. So Dr. King, in the midst of the struggle after the Montgomery bus boycott, zeroed in on Fayette County and said, I'm sending a check to Fayette and Haywood County to help you all in the struggle. Keep the faith. So like politics, change is all local. Dr. King realized that. He didn't forget it, and he didn't forget about local people. So as you go about your life, as you go about thinking about how to make Memphis, look at the young men in this room and look at the Hooks Institute. Because if change is gonna come, you all, me, all of us are gonna have to be the change. On that note, I'd like David Winter to sing A Change Is Gonna Come. Thank you.